Welcome to Ask a Lawyer with attorney Joey Franks at the Franks Law Firm in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Each week, Joey answers your questions about the law and how it affects you.
Joey, tell me about your firm and yourself.
Well, we've been open right at 3 years. I opened it up right out of law school. Before law school, I had a career on the Illinois Central and Louisiana Delta railroads working on trains. And when I was working out there, if you got a DUI or anything like that certainly impacted your career. So I understand individuals that are charged with DUIs in Mississippi and the impacts that it has on their everyday life a lot better than a lot of people might think a lawyer would have an idea about.
What should we look for in a DUI lawyer?
You need a DUI lawyer who is going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly of your case. Every case has good points to it, every case has ugly points to it, and every case has the bad points in between that aren't good for one side or the other. And you need a lawyer who will sit down day one and tell you realistically what your situation is. You need a lawyer who's not scared to go to trial, who is not hesitant to get in front of a judge, but at the same time has a relationship with prosecutors that they can have a frank conversation. And quite often we can get a favorable outcome without having to go to trial, though sometimes a trial is absolutely necessary, and you need an attorney that is not scared to take the route that is the most beneficial to you and be open to exploring that. And you need someone who will tell you the no bull account of where you are.
Can a person just go into the courtroom and talk directly to the prosecutor?
Well, that's a yes and a no question. There are some prosecutors that just refuse outright to talk with individuals who aren't represented by an attorney. In fact, I've dealt with one prosecutor in the state of Mississippi who wouldn't even talk to me as an attorney and insisted on trying everything. So absolutely, you have the right to attempt it. You have the right to go talk to the prosecutor. There's no requirement that the prosecutor talks with you. But it goes back to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Do you know the good points of your case? Do you know the ugly points of your case? And do you know the bad points that aren't good for anybody in particular? I've talked to many people about that, and I explain that to them. I explain what they're looking at. And quite often they don't know the answers. And it's not because they're incompetent or anything like that. Most of the people I deal with are highly intelligent people. They are competent. They got into a little bit of trouble. But the thing is they might be a mechanic. They might be a truck driver. I don't know about you, but I can't double clutch an 18-wheeler. I surely can't replace an engine or a mechanic, or to any degree really. But what I can do is I can lawyer. I'm a good DUI lawyer. And I stick with that. And I tell people I could go and work on my own truck, or I could try driving an 18-wheeler, but it's going to look real bad, and I'm probably going to mess it up quite a bit along the way, and it's going to end up costing me more. So I tell them it's the same situation. You are looking at somebody, this is what they do. And DUI lawyer is what I am. It's what I do. So I highly recommend that people don't try doing that, and they go ahead, they get a legal counsel, an attorney to go in and stand with them and represent them throughout this process, and to see to it that it's not messed up and it costs as little as possible and it costs as little time as possible.
What's the most common question you get?
The most common question I get is probably, am I going to go to jail over this? And I certainly understand that nobody wants to go to jail, but for a DUI first offense in the state of Mississippi, 48 hours is the maximum jail sentence time that can be imposed on them. And quite often what we do is, if we do go to court in the event that there is a plea deal or there is a guilty charge conviction, then we ask that they get credit for time served, but there's also the option of attending a victim's impact panel. You go on a weekend or something like that and you sit through the panel and you have to pay for it, and you avoid spending the 48 hours in jail, or you certainly avoid the remaining time that you would be required to serve in jail that you didn't receive credit for already. And sometimes we're able to get that suspended completely. And obviously, if we get a not guilty at trial or the matter is dismissed, then there is no jail time.
Thanks for listening to Ask a Lawyer with attorney Joey Franks at the Franks Law Firm in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Call attorney Franks for a free consultation at 601-773-7777. His website is thefrankslawfirm.com.